test. I've won both of them.
How have you worked that out?
Well, 600 RPM, okay? And I did the best in the village.
You destroyed the village.
Listen, let's not get bogged down with that. We must now move on to what typically happens in a country after the dictator is gone. With the government in disarray, we had to load all our worldly goods into our pickup trucks and prepare to run for our lives. Everybody else in the world has an iPod.
I don't think
you got a gramophone for?
It was my grandmother's. We're fleeing from rebel forces. You don't stand here doing a commentary. Get in your truck.
I'm ready to flee.
Right, perfectly straightforward. Whichever one is the fastest from here to the flags there, yes?
Yes?
Best at fleeing.
Yes, they're called. Yes, yes, exactly right.
So it's a drag race?
It's a flea race.
It's a fleeing race.
Let's flee then.
Come on, let's go.
If you need to flee from government forces, you need an Amarok. 0 to 60, 8 seconds. That's hot hatchback territory. It's the fastest of the trio, the most powerful of the trio, and the lightest of the trio. Probably not now, but it was. 3, 2, 1, go.
My Lego.
Bicycle?
This is our new life, chaps.
This is...
Lego, cream, and a shit record.
Well, you say that.
I'm going to start
Oh
again.
no, we've got a chair.
You say that.
Oh, we're going to be all right.
I literally think we're okay.
Yes.
So let's just get this crystal clear. Okay, we haven't escaped with much. But the Volkswagen has now won all 3 tests.
Who decided that?
Me.
Yeah, but this isn't a dictatorship anymore.
We toppled the dictator.
Yeah, it's a democracy.
It was the fastest by a mile.
Yeah, it is.
It was easily the best at pulling over statues and the best at water irrigation.
No. And you may have got there first, guaranteeing your survival, but you have no life. You have half a table and a mattress and the worst album in history.
really have
I
nothing
have got
left.
the
You
contents
call this
of
the
a home.
worst album?
The merits of the Yes album aside, the fact remained that with the country now in chaos, help is urgently needed. So, how would our commandeered trucks cope with their requirements?
Quite well, actually. And now, if I may, I'd like to talk about the Jaguar XE, not your hair. It is a really very nice little car, if I'm honest. It's very good looking. It's not particularly expensive. It rides beautifully, very beautifully, in fact. And as a result of all that, people ignore it and buy a BMW instead. So, Jaguar went to its Skunk Works, which is based in a shed, and they said, could you make a fast version, one that will get everybody talking?
The standard low-cost procedure for turning a normal saloon into a sports saloon is to give it some fat tyres, a nice V6 engine, and maybe some bucket seats.
But the boffins at Jag decided to go a bit further than that.
Welcome everyone to what's called the Project 8. The first thing you need to know is that the only bits that these two cars have in common are the roof and the front doors. Everything else is changed. Suspension? Oh yes, that was changed as well. It now has Bilstein dampers that cost £1,000 each. And rose joints. And ceramic wheel bearings. Like you get on a race car.
What the? What the fuck? What the fuck? That was close.
Tricky. Look at that for a tidy line. Now we go on to the really fast bit. Oh, good. Carefully, drive fast. It is quite scary through here. And then go a bit faster. Oh, that is my foot into the floor. Oh, for God's sake. On top of all that, the 8-speed gearbox also needed beefing up. And so did the four-wheel drive system. And then they had to get rid of the spare wheel and the well in which it sits to fit some underfloor aerodynamics. And then when they added up the cost of all the work they'd done, there was a problem. In order to make any money at all, the Project 8 would have to cost £150,000. That's 4 times more than the standard car. 4! So, here's the question. How mad would you have to be to spend £150,000 on a car that was designed and built in a glorified shed in the Midlands in about 18 months? And the simple answer is not mad at all, because this car is fan-bleeding-tastic. I will say that if you've got the car manually hunkered down and it's in track mode and the traction control is turned off, things can go a bit violent and bitey if you go beyond the limit.
Again.
answer is to stay within the limits, and in this car, that's no hardship. At normal road speeds with the car in comfort or even dynamic mode, it's as quiet and as civilized as a Jag should be. It even has little springs sitting on top of the bigger springs to give you a more comfortable ride. But everything's relative, really. I mean, it's not as comfortable, say, as lying in a hammock on a summer's day listening to wood pigeons. But it does have air conditioning and a head-up display and electric seats, so it is more comfortable than you'd expect. In fact, it's better than you'd expect in every way. And maybe we shouldn't be surprised by that, because the last time something was designed and built quickly in a glorified shed in the Midlands, it was called the Spitfire. And it won the Battle of Britain.
King James May. Ready?
Hang on. The Spitfire.
Yes.
It was the Hurricane that won the Battle of Britain.
Well, it just wasn't.
No, it just was. There were far more of them. It was easier to build. It was easier to repair. It was easier to fly.
Yeah, no, but that's like saying that a Nissan Juke is better than a Lamborghini Aventador because it's easier to build and there are more of them.
No, it's not like that at all.
It is.
The Hurricane was a much more stable gun platform in the hands of a novice. The Hurricane accounted for more enemy aircraft than all of our other air defences combined.
Yes.
It won.
But the Spitfire, okay, the Spitfire looked glamorous. So you'd look up from the sky and then that improved morale on the ground because people were going, oh, wow, look at that. We can't possibly lose
Yes,
this.
but morale didn't shoot down enemy aircraft. Hurricanes did.
Yes,
That's
I know, but
simply
if you've got a
fact.
small boy looking out the window, wow, look, there's a Spitfire up there and I'm going to join the RAF. And that's what we need. He didn't want to fly a Hurricane because it looked like a sad basset hound.
No, it didn't look like a
It
sad
didn't.
basset. And anyway, the best fighter aircraft in World War II was the Messerschmitt 109. Everybody knows
Well, that didn't win the Battle of Britain, did it?
Well, to be honest, nobody won the Battle of Britain. It was a draw.
What? Where have you got that from?
It was a draw.
Chaps! Hate to make this whole thing sound like, I don't know, a car show, but can we get it back to the Jag a bit? Please?
Yes, because I don't want to talk to him anymore about aeroplanes. 'cause-
Okay, remember the Jag.
Yes.
Is it a mainstream car?
No, if I'm honest, it isn't. They've only made 300 of them, and they're all left-hand drive.
What, so they went to all that time and trouble to develop
And expense, yeah.
and now they're only building a handful and they put the steering wheel on the wrong side.
No, it is very odd, but since I don't want to listen to him talking about Hurricanes anymore, I do think we should find out how fast it goes round the Ebola drone.
This is Charlie. I'm gonna end it off for today, guys. We'll be back tomorrow with some more Grand Prix story. Next time. Bye bye.